So thanks everybody for joining. My name is Katie Holmgren. For anybody that I don't know, I am the Director of Program Services at USA Hockey. And if you don't know what Program Services is by now, with our few webinars, we are the department that focuses really heavily on the 8 and under level and growth. And we also provide different training and educational opportunities and support to our local hockey association leadership in the form of club excellence and some regional training programs and whatnot. So lots of resources fall under program services from our volunteer side and from our growth side. So today's webinar is on marketing your association for growth. So I'm joined here by Erika, who is one of our counterparts over at US Figure Skating that we work in conjunction with and have been talking a lot lately as we get looking forward back to rinks opening up. So Erika, I'll let you introduce yourself and then we'll jump into it.
So I'm Erika Lehman. I'm the Director of Marketing for US Figure Skating and Learn to Skate USA, from grassroots all the way up to Team USA. My main focus though is on the grassroots and finding ways to help Learn to Skate USA programs or beginner programs really grow their membership base and to reach outside of their normal little bubble. So to connect with new families, get new families coming to the ice all the time. And that's really my favorite part of my job too.
Awesome.
I have a background in digital marketing, so I'm always about like fun new marketing tactics to throw out there.
So the reason we asked Erika to come on today is because of all her expertise. So while we provide a lot of resources, Erika's really kind of great at teaching us how to kind of get out of our bubble, especially when it comes to online marketing. So I will touch a little bit on some of our resources. So one of our big things for marketing and growing your association outside of who's already in your association at the 8U level is our Try Hockey for Free days. And so we host those once in the fall in November and once in February. And we provide associations with different tools, a toolkit that we send out that our associations can use to not only host an event, but also gain new members from outside kind of your bubble. So a lot of times and Erika will touch on this too, is it's great that you post on all the things that you have and you put up posters in a rink, but that's kind of already the people who might know about your association or might be in the local figure skating program. If you're posting to your own social media, that's typically people that are already part of your association, if you're posting it on your own website. So really the goal here is to find those people who are outside of your association, to get them interested in hockey and really bring awareness to your actual local association. So I will go over the couple of resources that we provide that help you market for those Try Hockey for Free days that we provide to you. So I'm going to share my screen here, and I know we'll go back to these as well, but so one of the big pieces that we provide to associations is in the fall, we provide you with Halloween cards. So we talk about ways to get into schools. So obviously if we're targeting the 8 and under age level, we want you to get into schools. That's the best place to do it. So we provide you with Halloween cards, and a lot of times people don't know what to do with these. So just to make it a no-brainer for you, you give them to kids that are already in your association for Halloween, and then they can bring them to schools. So not only does it mean that their parents don't have to go out and find Halloween cards for their kids to bring to school already, we provide it for you, but then it's marketing for your association and that Try Hockey for Free day. So this is what the front of them look like. We send each association a lot of these to hand out to their current members. And then on the back of them, we provide you a template. So this was for last November. And we also provide you a printing template so that you can put in your own association information kind of in this blank area if you want to add specifics about your association's Try Hockey for Free days. I know people might have questions about those Try Hockey for Free days, so we'll definitely do some webinars on those to get more in depth on what those entail as we get closer to the fall. But provide you this, and then our tryhockeyforfree.com is our national platform that you can register for, so your association would have access to see who's registered for it. But it's kind of one-stop shop. We make it easy for potential families who want to come in and try hockey, and all that information is provided for you there. So this is a big one. It's super successful. We provide Valentine's cards similarly in the spring for our February date. So again, no brainer for your parents in your association. They don't even have to go out and find their own Valentine's cards for their kids to bring to school, but we provide that for you, and same deal, space on the back for you to add information. The other thing we provide is kind of a host of various posters for you to market for your association's Try Hockey for Free days. And you can really use these any time of year. The Halloween cards and Valentine's cards are very specific to the 2 national dates we do, but we invite you to host a Try Hockey any time of year that works for your association. You can still use our online platform, but use these posters as well. And these posters can be used not only within your rink, as I mentioned earlier, that within your rink is kind of already your universe. It's your people that are already skating and already interested, but encourage you to use these online and different marketing techniques that Erika's going to talk about, since she's really the expert there on marketing outside your bubble. But we give all kinds of different imagery, boys, girls. We're adding multi-disciplines in there, adult, disabled disciplines, so that you kind of have a different host of posters to choose from. So they're customizable. These ones are pretty standard. We do provide them for our national dates, but also we have them blank, so they're customizable and available under the program services resources for you. So I am going to stop sharing my screen because I really want Erika to have a chance to talk to everybody. She's really the expert in getting outside your bubble, so she can give you some more creative ideas. So Erika, I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, great, thank you. Well, one thing, I love Try Hockey for Free. I think it's a really, really cool initiative. We do something sort of similar, National Skating Month, which is January every year. So a new thing we've been trying these last few years is giving Learn to Skate USA programs, whether they're teaching figure skating, hockey, just grassroots skating in general, trying to get everyone to host an open house or a free skating event within the month of January. And we're actually giving them sort of a turnkey marketing plan so they can try to host an open house event and just make it as successful as possible. And so what I've put together today, I did put together a slide deck, and some of you have seen this before. I've modified it a bit, but it's similar to something some of you might have seen before. But I think you can really leverage these events, specifically Try Hockey for Free, where there's a really awesome value there for anyone who attends. And it's kind of sort of this like once in a lifetime thing for some people. You know, it only happens twice a year. Maybe you host another one, but it has this real great sense of urgency, and people feel like, okay, if I don't partake in this now, I'll miss out. So I think it's a really great thing you can leverage. And I'm going to give you a few ideas on how you can really blow out your marketing for this and get your max capacity. So I will share my screen here. So if some of you attended a webinar I did a few weeks ago called Get Out of Your Bubble, I've modified it a little bit, but I'm gonna actually go a little more in depth and talk about some stages in there because I kind of blew through it last time, but so we'll chat about that. So getting out of your bubble is just what I call reaching out of the people that are in your normal inner circle. And it's just all about marketing smarter, not harder. So instead of spending tons of time and tons of money doing so many things, there's just a few key things you can do to hit new audiences. So a lot of times I'll talk about your inner circle and your outer circle. And inner circle, as Katie said, is those people who know who you are, they know what you do, they've gone to the rink. They might be part of your association, but they also might just be people who take part in public skate, who are at the rink, who are friends with people that are a part of your association. So they already know who you are and what you do. And those are the people that it's great to hit up with anything that's on your current social channels, with posters and flyers in the rink, with handing out the Valentine's and the Halloween cards. So any way you can reach those people, that's great. Keep reaching out to them. Your outer circles, where it's sometimes really hard to connect, because those are people that may not be familiar with what you do. They've never really contemplated playing hockey or trying hockey, but if you get that message in front of them and position it in the right way, they will take action immediately and they will become new fans and new participants. It's just a matter of somehow finding those people and pulling them in to your inner circle. So the 4 steps that I've identified for connecting with your outer circle are to first identify your target audience. So realize who you're trying to connect with when you're going through this initiative. So, you know, if you're trying to market youth hockey, you're really not trying to target women that are 25 that have no children and are Instagram influencers in the makeup and hair market. Or you're not trying to target you know, empty nesters whose kids have already left the house and they're into going to comedy shows and different concerts. You're really trying to target that one age group that has the kids that will come to your program or could potentially be interested in your program. So you really need to know your target audience. The second thing is to use FOMO, so fear of missing out, to create an offer that someone can't refuse. And with Try Hockey for Free, you already have that. So you have this great event that people really want to take part in. It's really high value and it doesn't happen a lot. So there's that sense of urgency there. So FOMO stands for fear of missing out, and you already have that with your Try Hockey for Free event. The next thing is utilize paid social media marketing tactics to promote your offer and connect with that target audience. So posting to social just organically is great, but just putting a little money behind a post or behind a few posts and putting them to a key audience and that audience you're trying to reach will really help you grow and reach with that and connect with that outer circle. And then the last thing, and this is a step a lot of people sometimes forget to do, is to capture contact information for people, follow up and communicate so you can bring them into your inner circle. So there's no point in doing all this great marketing and connecting with that outer circle if you can't communicate with them and bring them into your inner circle. So I'm going to talk about a real life example we did. So at Learn to Skate USA, we do these skate fests all the time where we'll travel to a city. We will host 2 hours of free beginner skating lessons. We have hockey instructors, figure instructors. It's just people come in, they get a free skating lesson, and then they get to skate around by themselves for about 20, 30 minutes afterwards. So we hosted one at Wrigley Field. It was on a Tuesday night in the middle of February. Temperatures were just hovering above the point where they closed the arena. So we weren't even sure if this event was going to happen. And it was outdoors, really cold on a Tuesday. But we tried this tactic and we really leveraged that fear of missing out. So one night only, you get to skate in this iconic and memorable location, and it's free for all ages and skill levels. With just a little bit of money behind it, we put $100 behind it, did a 3-day campaign, and targeted people that lived within 20 miles. And I'd say within a few hours, we had 100 new families sign up to take lessons, and I shut the campaign off after about $20 of my campaign spend. So it only ran for maybe 3 hours, and I spent 20 bucks, and we were at max capacity. And even though the day was freezing, it was really cold, we had almost everyone showed up, and everyone had a great time, and we had a lot of new skaters join Learn to Skate USA. So one event, and timing maybe wasn't right, but it worked out great for us. So you can do the exact same thing with your Try Hockey for free. So I'm going to kind of walk you through some ways that you can do that with this 4-step process. So the first one here is to identify your target audience. So even though you're working with hockey and we work with figure skating or just skating in general, I think a lot of that audience is very similar. So we actually did a huge analysis of our database in 2016 and looked at that grassroots level, so beginner skaters, and looked at what the characteristics of those families were. And there are all these things here on the right. So it was generally the people who were making the decisions and was the main point of contact was moms. And they're generally moms of preschoolers and grade school kids. So same age bracket as your Try Hockey for free kids. We did have preteens in there, but the moms generally are age 30 to 45 for that age bracket, for those kids in that 4 to 9 year age range. Most of them live within 25 miles of your facility. So a lot of people, that 25-mile mark is where people make the decision not to go or not to participate in something. So 25 was somehow that magic number. They like ice skating and similar activities. So if they're liking figure skating or they like hockey, they're probably also into different Olympic sports. They're probably big Olympics fans. They're into other winter sports, other ice sports, other team sports. They're probably into similar things. They might not be interested in things like monster trucks, or they might not be interested in a ton of video games or sort of that gaming environment. So think about what these kids that are participating in your program, the other interests they have, and also the other interests that the moms who drive these kids, moms or dads who drive these kids to and from practice are interested in as well. They're motivated by unique opportunities. So that's where that fear of missing out comes in. If there's something new and exciting that comes along, these people are really, really apt to jump on board and give it a try. They're really busy. So a lot of these people, maybe it's both people in the household work, or maybe one person works and the other one's very busy with volunteering, but they have extremely busy schedules. There's not a lot of downtime in these homes. So they're always looking for ways to do this on the way to something else or to make something fit into their schedules. And then the last thing is these people are very, very tech savvy. They're on their smartphones 24/7. They likely have the newest or pretty new version of a smartphone. And there are these people that likely wake up in the morning and check their email, check their social and everything else before they even get out of bed. So there's just a very tuned in audience, very plugged in all the time, which you can use to your advantage when you're marketing your events. So that's who your target audience is. I think it might differ a little bit with hockey and figure skating, but it's generally going to be the same. You're going to be targeting those moms of those kids of a certain age, and they're going to have certain interests and characteristics. And just make sure you're not getting out of that 25-mile radius. The next thing is to create a fear of missing out offer that they can't refuse. So here's one we did for Learn to Skate USA. I actually pulled the exact text that we used. So it was just getting people to come to a downtown skating lesson for free in Colorado Springs on a certain day. We definitely made sure to mention that spots fill up fast. It's one day only, so that creates a very big sense of urgency. And because we had them pre-register online, it gives us permission to follow up with these people, and it also forces them to commit. When someone pre-registers for something online, they're much more likely to attend than if they just hit, oh yes, I'm attending, and a button on Facebook. When you actually have to provide your contact information and someone reminds you about your free lesson, it's really hard to back down. Whereas if you're on Facebook and you just click that I'm attending an event, it's really easy to back down at that time. And I know you guys leverage pre-registration with Try Hockey for free, but so that's great. You already have that in there. So I modified this a little bit for an offer. And also one thing is it's not about you and it's not about your programming and it's not about anything else you're doing ongoing. It is only about that day, that unique experience and the amazing things that the participants will get out of it. So I modified this actually to be about hockey and Try Hockey for Free Day. So I looked up and past one of your days. So this is a text or something similar to this is what I would use on a social post promoting Try Hockey for Free. So I leverage the fact that it's one day only. It's sort of a once in a lifetime experience. Put in there who these kiddos, like who it's for. So make sure that they understand that this is for a certain age group. And then really push that space is limited and pre-registration is either required or highly recommended. Whatever it is there, and just make sure that you follow those guidelines, keep it timely, keep it relevant, and keep it urgent. And again, it's not about you, and it's not about your ongoing programming schedules, costs, or anything like that. It's just about that one day and that amazing experience someone can get. So then the next steps with this, so you've identified your target audience, you have an offer that you know is really exciting and that they love. Now it's just a matter of reaching out there and connecting with those people and getting them to register and share their contact information with you. So I've kind of built steps 3 and 4 together in this, but one way you can do that is with paid social marketing tactics. And the reason why social media is so great is when you're looking at like billboards and posters and all these things, you're trying to get in front of someone at a certain time. But what's so great about social media is people have their phones on them all the time. So you're getting in front of them where they are. So they are sitting there with their phone. You're not hoping that they'll come to the rink. You're not hoping that they'll be in front of your poster, your billboard. You know they'll have their phone on them a lot throughout the day. I mean, if you just look at your average screen time, you know how much you spend on your phone. So getting in front of them on social media is really a great way to meet them where they are. And if you want to do some paid social media marketing, it's great, but you can't just say, okay, boost for $25, let's post and pray and see what happens. It's really important to have a plan going in and to know how you're spending your money. So Facebook acts just like someone you send to the grocery store for you. So if you give someone $25 and ask them to buy these 5 things, they'll come back with those 5 things. But if you just give someone $25 and say, go to the grocery store and get me stuff, they'll probably come back with things that you don't really need or want. So just your prerequisites for a paid social campaign. Say you definitely want to have a budget. I would $25, $50 is a great place to start for the whole campaign, not just per day. A detailed targeting plan, so knowing who you're connecting with. That timely offer no one can refuse, and then also relevant information and a good mobile website. So there's no point in putting all of this information out there if people don't have a place to go once they're engaged with your content. I kind of spoke to this earlier, but targeting can either be great and very angelic, or it can be absolutely diabolical. So you have to make sure that you give that curated shopping list to Facebook before you start your campaign or while you're building your campaign. Here's 2 examples of some targeting that I got. I screenshot things sometimes when something's very relevant just to show how this targeted social marketing works. I'm a big fan of Hamilton, and Lin-Manuel Miranda joined the cast of Hamilton once again to do a special VIP show in Puerto Rico. And of course, I was getting all these ads for it. I mean, I live in Colorado, but they knew that I might be just a big enough fan to fly to Puerto Rico for that. And then also, I wear glasses, I wear sunglasses. I'm always looking at new prescription sunglasses on Warby Parker, and Tiffany and company knew that based on my interaction on Facebook and served me a post about that as well. So these are highly targeted, relevant to me. So social marketing is a great place to really hit people who are interested in what you offer. So when you're doing your targeting for this campaign, the biggest thing you want to do is focus on the trilogies, the who, the where, and the what. So in this case, you once again are targeting the parents of these skaters, because the skaters themselves aren't on Facebook. It's generally the moms that are making the decision. So women aged 25 to 45. We learned from our data that people generally won't go beyond 25 miles. So I would do the same thing with your campaign. And then we put in some defining characteristics about our audience. This is an example of what we use as defining characteristics. you'd probably target the same group of people, the moms of preschool kids or parents of preschool kids, grade school kids, maybe preteens. But you could change those likes to be like USA Hockey, like the 2018 Winter Olympics. You could kind of modify that a little bit to suit the needs of your organization. So once again, here's that post I crafted earlier, so the Try Hockey for Free post. And then here's some of the targeting metrics I would probably use if I was promoting an event in my area. So moms or parents of preschool and grade school age children. And then here's just some interest that you could throw in there. People that like USA Hockey, 2018 Olympic Winter Games, Colorado Avalanche, or whatever your NHL team nearby is, youth hockey, anything. And Facebook will actually offer you suggestions too. So you can follow along with those suggestions. One thing to be very cautious of is when you're building a paid social campaign, Facebook will be like, oh, well, don't you want to target other people that like are friends of people who like your page or other folks like that? You want to be really careful with these audiences, because just because someone's my friend doesn't mean they'll be interested in the thing that I'm offering. So for instance, I have an aunt and uncle that are in their 70s that live in Nantucket. They have no interest in beginner figure skating lessons. But if I say target friends of friends, they're going to start getting my ads. So we have to be really careful to make sure that we don't just accept these random options and say, go for it. You really have to think about who could be in those bubbles and to think when you're incorporating them into your campaign. And then I'm going to walk you through exactly how you boost a post. This is one method of doing a paid social campaign. I'd say it's the easiest. You can also go through Facebook's Ads Manager, where you can build a more comprehensive campaign and have some higher budgets. But boosting is really easy. This is, you craft that original Facebook post we talked about, you put in your targeting metrics, you choose your budget, and then you can just let this fly for a few days and see what happens. So I'm just going to walk you through the process of what this looks like. Some of you have probably already done this before, but I just want to show you just how easy and user-friendly it is and all the steps that are involved. So you'd craft a post, whatever you want it to be, promoting your Try Hockey for Free event. You'd hit boost. Then it's going to open a window giving you some objectives. So you'd want to say, I circled there at the top, that you want to get more people to react, comment, and share. So your whole goal with this is just to get this post in front of more people. You can add a button if you want that says register now, buy now, etc. I usually go with no button because my goal is to make this post look like it belongs in that organic social feed. So if you can keep this post looking like it's an organic post and not a sponsored post, it'll work out in your favor. Determine your targeting, so that who, where, and what that we talked about earlier. So this, when I hit this edit button down here circled, it'll open a new window, and that's where I can say, I want to target women aged 30 to 55. So I actually open that bracket up a little larger than I mentioned. I can choose my location. So once again, put in that 25-mile radius, so within Colorado Springs. And then the what I can layer in here. I can say parents of early school age children. You can actually select people based on their, Facebook can tell if someone's a parent based on when they announced if they had a baby or what schools they like on Facebook. They can kind of guess. So Facebook has a lot of data, and if you plug in these demographics and these interests, you can hit a really nice defined audience. But one thing to watch out for is at the bottom, Facebook's yelling at me saying that my ad is too specific and I'm only going to reach 22,000 people. But I don't know about you, I say reaching 22,000 highly targeted people in a very highly targeted region is a great number for me. So even though Facebook's saying that's not a lot, that 22,000 is a really, really great number. So I would actually ignore that little needle down there at the bottom telling you to increase your framework. So once that's done, I'm just gonna edit my placements. For now, I would say just stick with Facebook. Then later, maybe gravitate towards Instagram and then maybe some messenger ads. But I generally think just targeting straight on Facebook works great. You're gonna set the duration and the time frame. So here I can say I wanna run an ad for 5 days and I'm only gonna spend $25 over the course of those 5 days. So Facebook knows that that's my budget. They won't go over budget, and they know the days that I want this ad to be served. So it'll serve it over the course of those 5 days to those targeted audiences. It's telling me about how many people I'll reach per day. So I don't know, for $25, if I can reach about 1,500 people per day, that's a pretty big jump. That's pretty great. So I'm happy with that. Once that's done, I'm just gonna select or enter my payment information. We have a card and an account on file at US Figure Skating, but you can just put in your own credit card if you need to and get reimbursed. And you're just gonna hit boost and your post will be live. So your campaign will be out there in the universe and hitting those people that you selected through targeting. So one thing to remember when you do anything like this is even though social media is really exciting and you're reaching a huge audience, you have to be able to support those initiatives. So social media, just like your in-arena marketing, email, word of mouth, print or digital, or those the little invitations you're handing out, everything has to tie back to one place. In this instance, I say it's always your website or the Try Hockey for Free site. So even though you're sending people to Try Hockey for Free to register, who knows, after they register, they might bop back to your website to learn more about your program because they're really excited about participating. So make sure that your website, whatever place you're sending people to, can support the research people are doing and answer their questions. Another thing to remember is where Facebook falls in the sales funnel and the path to conversion. So here is if someone was just going to my website to make a purchase, but Facebook's at the very beginning. That's when you're putting that potential offer out there and getting people excited with an initial hook. But you have to make sure that they can stay engaged and follow your website and know exactly what they're doing and get to that registration point. So with Try Hockey for Free, USA Hockey did that for you, creating that page where people register, which is great. But keep in mind that people might come to your website and do some research too. Or if you host an event on your own that isn't part of Try Hockey for Free and you're just hosting your own open house, make sure you can support that traffic as it comes to your site. And also measure data along the way. Data is your friend. So here's that simple action plan. I kind of just went through all the steps, but what you'd want to do before you launched a campaign like this is you just want to audit the website path to conversion. Since you have that Try Hockey for Free website, you don't really need to do that because USA Hockey did it. But if you're hosting your own event, I would definitely do that. You'd want to craft that Facebook post with a timely offer people can't refuse. So you can actually craft it, post it, maybe boost it the next day. If you're boosting it, I would say never boost longer than 7 days. I think things can get tired and stale. So I say 3 to 7 days is kind of that magic number. And then once people register, make sure you're following up with them or that they know what to expect when they get there. They know what type of socks to wear. They know how early to show up. And you also want to remind them so they don't forget. So if they registered pretty far in advance, you want to keep sending them reminders so it stays top of mind. And the last thing and the easiest thing to forget is to measure and track your results. So you always want to make sure that if you're putting money towards any paid social media marketing effort, because you have so much data, you can track that data. And here's a sample campaign flow. So I use that Try Hockey for Free messaging. You would just start about 2 weeks out, run a campaign for a week. After you have that information, you send out a reminder, maybe 5 days out, 1 day out, one more reminder. There's your event day. And then in the end, you're going to finish and follow up with another offer. So maybe an offer to join your program, an offer to come to a seminar to learn more about youth hockey, something like that. So you want to follow up with another.
Erika, real quick, I did just want to interject quick because I think the stuff you're talking about is super awesome and lots of good suggestions. So one of the tools that we provide when you are marketing is the things that you talked about, like sample emails to participants and a social media campaign. So once people are already following you and already part of that, that is one of the things that we just provide to associations. So wanted to make sure to mention that while you were on that topic, because it is something that's super important to do those follow-ups and give more information, and we provide those templates for them.
Oh, so you didn't even have to think when you do this part.
Nope.
So you can just plug and play. So that's great. You actually have everything pretty much built. It's just a matter of getting the word out.
Yep.
That's great. I think that's pretty much your last thing is just to remind everyone to always measure and track your results. So with Facebook, it's really easy just to be like, oh, we had 1,700 people saw this post and we had 27 people register, but there's so many other things you can track. So just make sure you track that over time, and every time you do a paid campaign, you're seeing what works and what doesn't. So every time you can market smarter and put in something that will have that same level of engagement. And so that's all I have for you. So hopefully I went a little more in depth this time than I did last time, but hopefully that's some good information and can help give you guys some ideas in marketing your events.
I think that's really, really good stuff. And obviously more in depth than we go. We provide you a lot of tools, but Erika really has the expertise on how you market that stuff online. Erika, is there a reason that you think, I mean, I have my own idea about it, but a reason that you think Facebook's really kind of the way to go, or is it just, the simplified part of the platform and ease of use for it, or?
So if you look at social media data right now, so if we're targeting people in that 25 to 45 age range, Facebook is still the #1 platform for that group. Yeah, a lot of 25 to 35-year-olds are pretty active on Instagram. I'm actually more active on Instagram than Facebook. But if you look at the data overall, Facebook is still the platform to hit that group. So until Instagram surpasses Facebook, I would still go with Facebook.
Yeah, and we've done
are owned by the same company. So
right, so you can easily plug and play back and forth. So we did some millennial research, really to base on parents and know what they want. So that would be the age group of those players that we're targeting at that 8 and under age level, which is really our target market for growing an association. That's really kind of the sweet spot to get people in. So we know that their parents are millennials and they're still on Facebook right now. So like you mentioned, I wanted to reiterate with that. And obviously, like we mentioned, I showed the resources at the beginning, but you can use those posters and things we already created for you, and use all those marketing tools that Erika talked about to really get outside your bubble. Rather than just putting up a poster in the rink, which we still encourage. I think you mentioned that too. Like you still want to put it in there because you never know if somebody's in a learn to skate class that didn't think of trying hockey, or somebody's at an open skate just for fun and might want to try hockey or be part of your association. So definitely market within your facility, but really, really getting outside your bubble. So I don't see any questions on here, but you can always reach us on the program services website if you do have any questions. If we need to pass anything along to Erika, we certainly can. usahockey.com/program services. You can find all of our resources there. This webinar will be posted there as well, so people can kind of go back as we get closer to those Try Hockey for Frees and rinks opening up and different things. So I know that we'll be talking to Erika again soon on best practices on working with your figure skating club, because just like we work in conjunction with US Figure Skating, we want our local clubs to as well. So it looks like we do have one question. We've got any ideas outside social media and other traditional medium that you found to be effective for you, Erika, at figure skating, like guerrilla marketing type concepts?
So for us, what we've seen has had a lot of popularity, and what works a lot is sort of event-based marketing, but just doing everything you can to get as many people as possible to this event, but also to capture that contact information when people go. Another thing is to try to tap into like those kind of unconventional event ideas. So even though you're having, let's say we're having a figure skating open house, there's a lot more than just what happens on the ice. So thinking about sort of photo booth opportunities that are happening in the lobby, information stations, Instagrammable moments. I think a really big thing, and I know you said outside of social media, but a lot of people these days, like I do a lot of seminars and I do these little like polls when people are in there. And usually about 85 to 90% of the people in these seminars have been on social media that day. And this is figure skating clubs, it's definitely an older demographic, but they're still on social. People love to just share their life and what's going on in their life on social. So if you can create Instagrammable or photo moments or something where people can share an experience they're having, then you're connecting, you're not only giving that person an experience, but then their whole network is seeing that experience. So the more like Instagrammable photo booth sort of moments you can create, that can help a lot.
I think that's good. The other thing we encourage is partnering with other like youth associations. So sports that aren't taking place at the same time as hockey or something like that. So summer sports organizations, summer camps. I know that here locally, a lot of times USA Hockey will help with like a sports sampling camp. So they're giving kids the opportunity to try different, different sports. And so we'll go run like a ball hockey station, and we all wear our USA Hockey stuff so that it kind of draws interest there. I do think the important thing you said though is how do you capture that data? And so that's the big piece about our Try Hockey for Free online platform, is that if you're directing people to register there, and you can do it for non-national dates as well. So those 2 big national dates, but then you've got that contact information so you can personally invite them back, which we know is big. It's that concept of reaching out and especially now when everybody's at home, and go back through your Try Hockey for Free list if you've done it before and send them some communication. We put together a communication toolkit too. We want everything to be plug and play. So Erika's got all the big ideas. I certainly can't provide all of that, although we've used lots of stuff that Erika talks about when we do Facebook marketing, but partnering with other local associations at youth sports, youth camps, and likewise. So it has to be cross promotion, right? Like you'll tell your associations about them as well. So
one thing you could also do that we've started doing is we have all those lists from everyone that's ever come to our National Skating Month or Skate Fest events, is like during this pandemic, we actually sent out like workout like Team USA and sent an off ice, like fun 15-minute workout, like a little checkbox workout they could do. And it had huge open rates. I think a 65% open rate. So these people that didn't necessarily join our skating community thought it was really cool that they were given a skating type workout. So anything you can leverage in that way, like fun unique ideas to reach
That's
out
cool.
to that group. Like find those pockets, like, yeah, there's a pandemic and that stinks, but is there a way you can reach out to these people,
Connect with them.
engage with you?
Yeah, so we've been doing, similar to you're sending out your workouts, we've been doing weekend hockey challenges. That's really big on social media, but I would say to any local associations that want to use those, you could certainly recreate them locally and even use, like you mentioned, your Try Hockey for Free list, people that might have come before, and get them kind of re-engaged with your association. And they're fun things. So like this week's hockey horse, so it's you do a stick trick and then you challenge a teammate to see if they can beat you, and then kind of pass it around your team. So it'll be kind of a fun thing. But you could do that with anyone who's come to a Try Hockey, or, you know, especially someone that's done a Learn to Play that might have equipment at home, but maybe didn't sign up for your association. I think that's a good way to re-engage and get them back interested in hockey.
I think if you stay away from the sales aspect and just focus on the fun and why everyone should love hockey and participate, or what you have in common, not what you want them to sign up for. I think sometimes that's the best way to get someone to come back to you or to become top of mind for them.
Yeah, that team aspect, you know, we're as hockey people and figure skating, you know that your teammates are those become your best friends. Those are our lives now. So focusing on that part. So awesome. Well, thanks, Erika, and to everybody that joined. And again, if you need anything, reach out to us in the program services team. And I'm sure we'll be talking to Erika on more of our webinars soon. And since we're always happy to work with our partners at US Figure Skating. So thanks everybody for joining today. Thanks, Erika, for coming on and giving us all that great information.